to Mindset. My name is Chantel Fitzgerald and your host. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have an incredible guest. You probably know him. He is a prominent lawyer in Philadelphia. Everybody knows this guy. He is a business and real estate litigator, has tons of clients, and also gives back to the greater Philadelphia through board service and volunteerism. So he serves on the board of Temple Law, he's on the board of the Philadelphia Bar Foundation, and also the chair of the board of Insight PA Charter Schools, among many others. So please, let's give a warm welcome to my good friend and Philadelphia's lawyer, Michael E. Adler.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Yes,
here.
indeed.
Great to be part of this show.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
So we're going to get into it. So Mindset's all about understanding industry leaders like yourself and really understanding how did you get there. And so tell us a little bit about, first of all, your business of the law office of Michael E. Adler. Tell us a little bit about your law firm.
Sure. So my firm is based in Philadelphia. I'm licensed in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and the firm was formed in June of 2013. So I've been doing this for about 5.5 years on my own. Before that, I grew up in New Jersey, went to Philadelphia for Temple Law School, and graduated about 20 years ago. For about 8 years, I worked in the large Philadelphia law firms, and as a trial litigator working on big corporate disputes, a lot of real estate stuff as well. And then about 8 years into that, I left private practice to become general counsel of a company. And for a few years, I was general counsel of a large Philadelphia-based property management company, which also had a lot of wholly owned other things, like a cable television internet company and a bunch of other ventures. So I was basically someone's general counsel overseeing about 850 employees, but handling all the legal matters for the company.
Wow.
In 2007, then I went back to private practice. I formed a small firm with 3 Chinese partners for a few years. And then in 2009, I went back to a much larger firm again for about 4.5 years, until that takes me to what I do today, which is in 2013. The day I turned 40, I opened my own practice.
Wow, the day you turned 40, you opened up your own practice.
Which now tells you how old I am today.
So I guess that makes you 45, right?
Wow, very good. and a lot grayer.
No, not at all. You don't even see the gray.
Right, sure. Good lighting.
So, so tell us, so what made you decide on your 40th birthday to venture out on your own?
Sure. I have no idea. It was basically a midlife crisis.
Really?
No. So you may know, because we actually know each other for a while, that my father was also an attorney and big influence in my life. But he went to law school as a second career himself. So he went full-time day to Seton Hall Law School in New Jersey when I was about 8 years old, and he graduated when he was about 40. So he started his own practice when he was 40. I don't think it was actually, he's no longer with us. He passed a while ago, but for about 20 years he had his own firm where my mom was his legal secretary. It was like a mom and pop legal shop. But that is my growing up. That was where I spent my weekends, was helping my dad, go to the office on Saturdays when he had to catch up with work, and just seeing how involved he was able to be as a law firm, but also as an entrepreneur with his own practice, and then be able to stay involved with my life, be my soccer coach, be involved with the community, get involved with everything from synagogue life to political life to just join boards. And that's who I am today.
That's so special. I love how you were really inspired by your father and how the age of 40 was really a transition period for you.
Can I also say, also inspired by my mother. I don't want to forget my mother.
Of course, yes. And your mom too.
Yes.
Your parents were entrepreneurs.
Right.
They worked together, they built up. And was your father also in business and real estate litigation as well?
No, actually he had more of a general practice. Did a little of everything. Because of his prior background, he had an expertise in patent law, so he actually was a patent lawyer.
Oh, wow.
Because of his scientific background. He went to MIT for graduate school and passed the patent bar. But most of his clients that came in were just general business owners that had contract needs. He even did some criminal defense work. He did some bankruptcy work. And he basically did a lot of the same stuff that I do. I don't really do criminal work or bankruptcy work. I do mostly business and real estate work today.
Yeah. So what made you decide to go into business and real estate litigation? What is it about? Because your father did a lot of different things, from patent attorney to criminal law. So he did a lot of different law. So what made you decide to go into business and real estate?
So I probably didn't go into business and real estate to start my career. Again, starting at a big firm, you kind of do the cases that you're assigned to. And when you're when you're an associate in a big firm, you don't choose your cases. You see what comes to you. And a lot of the work that came to me was working on behalf of Fortune 10 companies on business disputes. Very interesting, complex things. But did they excite me? I think most associates would probably say no. Because at the end of the day, that stuff probably matters very little to the client. It's just one little case out of 100 cases. The cases that I enjoyed working with were the ones that are almost bet the company case for much smaller entrepreneurs, for business owners, where what I did, working one-on-one with the first generation, second generation owner, where every single legal matter matters intensely to them. And I like to work with the business owners from corporate formation to every contract in between, to even business divorce or exit, sale. So I want them to think of me as their sort of outside legal counsel. That's the practice that I've developed today.
Yeah, and it's really fantastic, and knowing from experience and knowing you as well, that you really become a partner with your clients, and you really support them in basically every way, and also guide them to what is the best legal decision for them to make with their businesses. And you really get to know your clients in a way that is very meaningful and really support them, and you are their advisor from every legal matter. It sounds like, also from the beginning to the end, and what you need to prepare.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I think that the model that I'm trying to create, which is, I think, the best model for attorneys and clients together, is that I don't charge my clients on an hourly basis. And that takes a lot of trust from the client's perspective. But that I want my clients to feel like, is this worth a 0.3 hours to call my lawyer to go over a letter I got or a contract that has to be reviewed? And that's actually not the relationship I want to have with any of my clients. The philosophy I have for practicing law is you shouldn't pay a lawyer for how long it takes your lawyer to do something, but for the value you get. When I was general counsel of a company, I reviewed many outside invoices, and I saw the inefficiencies that go into lots of law firm invoices. When I was a big firm associate in big firms, there's a lot of efficiencies. And now I feel like I'm able to provide that sort of level of service and sophistication of a large firm, but with much lower overhead, and frankly, pass along those client savings to my client.
And that's huge. And I like what you said about the value that you bring. So you're not micromanaging the hours of exactly how much you want to charge your client. It's more about the overall bigger picture of the value that you're having as well. Which is huge.
Yeah, I mean, maybe my kids aren't happy to hear this, but I always say I'm probably not going to be the richest lawyer in Philadelphia, but I'm probably going to be the happiest lawyer in Philadelphia. And I feel like I'm developing that. We're 5.5 years in. My clients pay my bills. My clients refer me other clients. It's a lot of hard work, but I enjoy every day of it.
And I love that. The happiest lawyer in Philadelphia. We have to come back. We got to take a break right now, but let's find out more about this happy lawyer we've got here in Philadelphia. And let's find out about his tips and tricks, but also I want to learn more about his organization when it comes to networking, since he is the prominent lawyer in Philadelphia here. So we'll be right back, all right? Just in just a few minutes.
A memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Love my style, I'm dancing tonight. My smile from pearly white side. Love myself, love myself, love my style. Pearly white, love your smiles. From teens to grown-ups braces, they can change your life. All ages and all faces. Your smile from pearly white. Love yourself, love your style. Pearly white, love your smile.
independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
In a world where bankers have lost all interest, where robots and fat cats rule our fortunes, one woman will stand up and strive to do the impossible. Be treated like a person. Friends and neighbors will join her quest. Ordinary people will band together against the forces of corporate greed. And together they will form Philadelphia Federal Credit Union, already in a neighborhood near you.
Assurance. It's a word, a touch, a look that sparks a feeling. Peace of mind that everything will be all right. These are the moments that inspire us to do more than you'd ever expect from a car insurance company at a price that's less than you'd expect. This is more than just insurance. This is Plymouth Rock Assurance. Visit us at PlymouthRock.com.
Hi, my name's Casey Price, host of a brand new show called Everyday Elder Care. My show will help you take the stress out of caring for your elderly loved one by educating you about options and solutions you may not even know exist. Tune in every Tuesday at noon on RVN TV. We'll see you there.
Imagine the finest hand-selected USDA prime steak you'll ever have. The freshest line-caught seafood, our Wine Spectator award-winning wine list, and soul-satisfying desserts. Bring that together with the perfect date, the winning business deal, a memorable family celebration. Welcome to Rod's Steak and Seafood Grill in nearby Morristown, New Jersey. Bring your appetite and feed your passion.
Right. Well, welcome back. And we are here with Michael Adler, managing partner of the law office of Michael E. Adler. And we were just getting into how he was talking about how he's probably one of the most happiest lawyers in the greater Philadelphia area. And let's check that out. I think we have a few pictures to check out and seeing some of Michael's fun times as being a lawyer here in greater Philadelphia. So we've got Charles Barkley. Wow, look at you.
That's my friend Charles.
Hanging out with, the NBA players. Okay.
Yeah, somebody.
I see you.
Yep,
All right. Okay. And you also got William Height there.
Superintendent Height of Philadelphia School District, right?
Yes, very nice. What else do we have?
That's my Heisman at the Lincoln Financial Field. that was somehow
awesome.
I snuck on the field. Right after that, they tackled me and threw me in jail.
Oh,
But,
wow.
yeah.
Wow, threw you in jail.
No.
Whoa, I don't know about that. Very nice. Oh, look at you.
I'm trying to remember what that event is. It's just some networking event, another step and repeat like we just did before this show.
Yes, okay. Very nice. I like it. Oh, what's that? Oh, is that the leukemia and
That
lymphoma?
was. I didn't realize we had that. That's
Oh,
the
wow.
Man of the Year picture
Yeah.
from the Leukemia and Lymphoma
You
Foundation.
were
And you were
Man of
there.
the Year.
You were at
Yes,
that
I
event.
was there. I should have had my picture up
That's
there.
right. That's
yeah,
right.
very nice. I like it. All right.
right,
So those are the pictures.
That's a few. That's a few.
Those are a few.
Thanks, Mom.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That's so good. Wow. I love it. So yes, happy lawyer in Philadelphia, but I got to tell you, sometimes it's not always happy, right?
Sure.
And maybe not every client is the happiest client, the best client. So tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you face, especially running your own law firm and dealing with maybe challenging clients. And how can you, what is your mindset to push through when you might be dealing with difficult situations?
Sure. Actually, I deal with this issue every day.
Yeah.
Not just for myself, but for my clients, because most of my clients are entrepreneurs. Most of my clients have left a paycheck, and every 2 weeks they used to get a paycheck, and now I'm trying to help them, train them of what it means to be an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur sometimes means you don't get a paycheck for 6 months. But I think one of the most important things that I've done in my life and that I try to train my clients is how to get yourself in a position that you're not worried about the next client to pay your bill. so that you can have clients that you're not desperate to get, but it's the other way around. It's actually, there's an author that I'll give a shout out to. His name is Michael Port, and he writes a book called Beyond Book Solid. And while I may be misquoting a lot of the themes of his book, what I do remember from the book and from hearing him speak is you want to create a red velvet rope around yourself. That you want to create this aura a little bit where your clients want to be on your side of the red velvet rope, even more so than you want or need their business. I rarely chase client business. I'm fortunate in that I think client business has come to me. And that has not been by going to a networking event and handing a card and getting a client. That's 20 years of building relationships.
Wow.
And so I think that takes time. It's also 20 years of literally going to networking and doing things for others, right? That's how we do it. You always think about the other person first. You make an introduction to an accountant, and an accountant gets a client because they needed an accountant. And then that accountant, when they have a client who's going to need a lawyer, is obviously going to think of the lawyer who gave them business.
Right.
So you always pay it forward first without expecting something in return. And I have found that that's just worked tenfold over.
Wow,
Right?
that's so good. Paying forward first before expecting something in return. And I like what you're talking about in terms of this red velvet carpet around
velvet
you.
rope, right,
Or red
right.
velvet rope around you. So basically, tell us a little bit more about this red
Sure.
velvet rope, meaning like you are your own VIP.
I mean, without
Or-
being arrogant about it,
Yeah.
but sure. I think you want to, you want clients to feel like, I always say, look, there's 15,000 other lawyers in Philadelphia. If I was going to take a rock and throw it down Market Street, I could hit 9 lawyers on one throw, right? There's too many. But why is a client hiring me? So it's not the what I do, it's why I do it, right? It's the why. So why would a client hire me over the other 15,000 lawyers? And that's what I try to answer for myself every day. But more importantly, that's what I try to get my clients to answer for themselves. Why are they doing what they're doing? Not what are they doing, what's the product they sell, but why are they doing it? What is the thing that they're doing that's making somebody else's lives easier? And I'm just selling a service. I'm just selling legal services, consulting services, political lobbying services, or merely just networking services. And I feel like what I'm trying to offer to clients with varying degrees of success is they're not hiring me to be the lawyer who can draft the contract the best. There's thousands of lawyers who can draft a contract better than me, but they're hiring a lawyer who also is not going to just be their chief legal officer, but probably also their chief business development officer at no extra charge, because all of my clients are going to get referrals from me at no extra charge. It's just who I am and what I do, and you get that extra value of service when you become a paying client.
So it sounds like it's really this mindset of paying it forward, being of service to others, and really doing things altruistically, helping other people, connecting them to who they need to be connected with,
Sure.
without any strings attached. And you found that to be extremely rewarding and very successful for you and your business.
Absolutely, yes. And yeah.
And so with that too, and I really liked what you were saying about the why.
Right.
So what would you say your why is, and also helping clients find their why?
It's a great question. I think about that all the time, and I think that answer evolves almost every day, if not weekly or monthly. My why, maybe the answer is, if you were my client and you came to my office with an idea, why are you in my office? What is your idea, and why is it better than any other idea? Whenever a client comes to me with an idea, a business idea, immediately I search on Google or even in the patent file that they don't even know exists, and I say, do you know 100 other people have had this idea? And immediately they turn white. And I say, that's okay. 100 people may have had your idea. That doesn't mean we're not going to make $1 billion on this. I'm going to help you do it better than the other 100 people. You and I have been through this before,
Yeah,
and
we
we know
have.
other people had our idea. We've done something together in the past. But we found out why they weren't able to do it. And we got more and more excited about our business idea because we realized that maybe we were onto something, and we figured out why other people couldn't do it and why we were servicing a need that we know still exists in the marketplace today. So I trust that answers your question, but that's what I try to do for myself and for the clients, is to challenge them, not on the product, but how we're going to get to market better than anybody else, and why what they have in mind is going to be the life-saving, game-changing, world-changing thing that everybody needs.
Yeah, that's good. And you know what, the why is, it reminds me of that TED Talk.
Yeah.
I think it's like Simon
Sinek,
Sinek, I
absolutely.
think. Yeah,
Absolutely,
who also
absolutely.
talks about the why.
Everybody watching this should watch that TED Talk.
Yeah, it's a great one, but also you living that. You
Absolutely.
are living the why.
Every
and
day.
you every day you're asking yourself, why are you doing this?
Right.
And also helping to guide your clients as to what is their why, and really help facilitating that and helping them get there. And I think that's really
And I'd be
huge.
remiss if I didn't say that every day my why has to do with my 13-year-old daughter and my 11-year-old son. Like, why? I'm reflecting who I want to be, like who my father was and who his father was, so that I can instill in them, while they may not appreciate it as a 13 and 11-year-old, 10 years from now when they come across this video on the internet, or 20 years ago, 30 years from now, when they give my eulogy at my funeral,
Oh, wow.
they will appreciate that I've been
Yeah.
sort of that role model,
Yeah.
that mentor, and I'm doing what I do every day, because I'm trying to instill those little fatherly things in my two
Yeah.
young children.
Yeah, no,
That's
that's
the
so,
why.
that's beautiful. And
Okay.
so, no,
Yeah,
and so
good.
meaningful as well. And I think that you are really giving us this huge advice for all of us, not just for what you do personally for yourself, and answering the why, and identifying, you're doing this for your family, you're doing this for yourself, you're doing this to be a role model for others, but ultimately to hopefully impact the world. And I think that's very encouraging for all of us, for me too, and
Thank
really
you.
connecting to the why. And now I'm thinking about the why of this show,
Right, right.
of mindset and what I hope to achieve.
Exactly.
And my why, and you're already guiding me right now.
We
and
talked about it
coaching me.
before we went on air today, yeah.
Exactly, about why mindset.
Right.
And and I want to say that, we all, it's really important to hear somebody's story like
Thank you.
yours that is such a great networker in Philadelphia and sees your success, but understanding the depth behind it, I think, is really important, and the mindset that you have. And so mindset is really, truly the why behind that, is really developing, connecting to other people, and connecting people to see themselves in the people that we interview, and hopefully helping them with their own personal mindsets. And so I also wanted to touch on something that I think that you're really good at, and I think that could really help our viewers as well when it comes to networking.
Okay.
People say that your network is your net worth.
Okay.
And that you really, and I think that you are one of the best networkers in Philadelphia, but not only are you great, just connecting and meeting people, but you also have a behind the scenes organized way of doing that. And could you share that a little bit with us?
No, that's my trade secret. Why would I share that with everybody? No, I'm happy to.
Or,
I'm happy to. Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, how do you, I think you have a great back end
Yeah.
organization
So-
that is really important for people to know.
All right, so we only have a few more minutes, so I will share that this is a much lengthier topic that I've spoken at length to lawyer groups, accountants, other groups about why networking, how to network, and some tips for networking. So, off the top of my head, just a few things that probably everybody does, but, first of all, you have to want to network. I mean, I put something on my calendar as much as I can, consistent with my workload and my family life and all the other things you got to do to achieve a work-life balance. But I actually enjoy it. I really enjoy going to either a new place or an old place and walking in the room and seeing a few people I know and then a few people I don't know, and making sure that the people that I do know get to meet the people I don't know, and vice versa, right? I enjoy that. I enjoy connecting people. I used to be an introvert. I'm naturally a little bit of an extrovert, but I have my introverted moments, just like everybody. I think also, I probably alluded to this early in this interview, I mean, I genuinely like to pay it forward first before expecting anything back. And before we went on the air, you and I talked about how going to a networking event with the goal of trying to get a client at that event that night is just a disaster. So if you go to the networking event with the mindset of trying to establish 3 new people who could lead to 3 new relationships that can either become mutually beneficial or otherwise, maybe you just met 3 new people, not 100, not 5, maybe 3. and with the mindset of literally starting the relationship so that they can learn to know you and then like you and then trust you. And that doesn't happen that night over alcoholic beverages. That happens over getting their card, over a 5-minute, maybe 3-minute conversation, and getting a commitment from the other person to continue the conversation. Where they say, I really like talking to you. Do you mind if we continue this conversation over coffee or something, and exchanging cards? And then, as you know, because you've probably been the victim of this from me, then I send a LinkedIn request, which continues that conversation. And I use LinkedIn as a huge resource for growing my network. I think it's one of the most valuable, if not the most valuable, online networking resources out there.
Yeah.
And then I make sure that I don't have a stack of business cards by my computer every night, which I know most people do. Or you get a business card and you throw it in the bottom of your pocketbook. And then 20 or 30 days later, you look at a stack of business cards and you're like, I don't even remember meeting these people. Well, I make sure that every night before I go to sleep, no matter what I did that day, I've added those people already to my LinkedIn network and in my phone and my own personal CRM. And I've already written notes about them. And that has come back to creep people out, because I can say we met on June 11th, 2011 at the Warwick at that event, because I have that in my notes. But it's really helpful for me, and I probably should stop trying to creep people out as often as I do.
No, but I love that, and I
Yeah.
think that is so amazing, and you are so committed to that. And what I loved what you said about networking is really not going into a room saying I'm going to get business right away. It's that three-step process of let me just connect to them.
Right.
Let me just get to know
Let me
them.
listen to them first.
Let me listen to them.
Right.
Exactly.
Let me not tell you what I do. I want to hear what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And learning from them, and then following up to continuing the conversation, and then maybe sending them a LinkedIn request, and then meeting. It's a gradual thing.
Absolutely.
It's not something that happens overnight, and something that you really need to build that relationship.
Right.
And I love the part where you really do follow through and follow up, but also making notes and doing that every single night, and having a system for yourself to, with the people that you meet, you follow through in terms of making those notes of when and where you met them specifically, and not being sometimes like me. I mean, I must confess a little bit that I am that person that has a couple of business cards, maybe more than a couple, in my purse.
Everybody does.
But being consistent about doing that, and I think that's huge advice for our viewers and for others as well. So that is fantastic. Michael, you've pretty much laid out a lot of great tips from the mindset of having the why behind what you do, as well as the mindset of going into a networking event and really just genuinely wanting to meet people and learning about them and who they are, and building trust and building a relationship with them as well. So that's been huge, and I'm really grateful for your bits of wisdom that you've brought here with us today on mindset.
Thanks for having me.
Do have to wrap up a little bit, but can you tell the audience about how they could get in contact with you, and how could they continue to follow you and your humorous tweets and Facebook posts as well?
Thank you. So lawyers are very easy to find, right? Because we're all over the internet. I have a Facebook page, the Law Office of Michael E. Adler. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at madler9000, MADLER 9000. Feel free to follow and connect. If you like this, also, as I mentioned, I love LinkedIn, easy to find. You know, Michael Adler, attorney, entrepreneur, Philadelphia. Feel free to send me a note, connect, and I look forward to connecting with everybody who's watching this.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
this was
Michael.
so much fun. Thanks
this
for
was
having me.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here.
Great.
And thank you for providing such amazing tips on mindset.
My pleasure.
And thank you all, viewers, for tuning in with us today and seeing the great tips from Michael Adler. Please stay tuned for Mondays at 2 o'clock this fall, and we'll have more great insights. So see you soon. Thank you so much.